Okay, so today we're going to be looking at pyramids. So far we've done prisms, we've done cylinders, now we're going to get to pyramids. So let's look at our formulas for finding the surface area, total surface area, and volume of a pyramid. So for the lateral surface area of a pyramid, we're going to do 1/2 PL. Now, what was P when we were talking about prisms? P was the perimeter of the base. L is something new. It's called the slant height. And what it does is it measures the side of the 3D figure. So it's a height, but it goes along the side. It's slanted. That's why we call it slant height. It's a height, but it's slanted. So those are the two things we need for lateral surface area. Total surface area includes those things, but now we have to include the base with it. So as we learned on prisms, capital B is the area of the base. And then for volume, volume is 1/3 BH, where H is like we defined it earlier. It's the height, the vertical height of the pyramid. So on this diagram down below, let's identify some of these things. First, this dotted blue line right here. This line right there. That's our slant height. This tip right here is called our vertex. This one's pointing to just one of these triangles. That's a lateral face. And on pyramids, lateral faces will be a triangle. And then this one's pointing to the center line. This center line right here that goes from the vertex straight down to the base. That is our actual height. So we have slant height, which goes along the side. The actual height drops straight down from the vertex. And then this last one is our base. Now, just like on prisms, with pyramids, you name them based on their base. So what kind of base do we have here? What shape is this base? It's a hexagon. So this is a hexagonal pyramid. Okay, so now let's get into the examples. They ask us to find the lateral surface area, total surface area, and volume of the pyramid. Round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So we need 4 items here before we can even begin. We need perimeter, we need area of the base, we need slant height, and we need normal height. So as we read our problem, see if our problem tells us any of those. Okay, a regular square pyramid, it's square, so we need to make note of that, with a base edge of 10. So each side is 10. Slant height is 13 inches. So L, they tell us L, that's going to be 13 inches. Height is 12 inches. Normal height is 12 inches. Okay, so we know it's a square. So for perimeter of a square, we just add the sides up, or we could say 4 times the length of the side. So in our case, it's 10. So 4 times 10 is 40 inches. Now for the area of the base. Since it's a square, remember, area is side squared. So we can just do 10 squared, which gets us 100 inches squared. So we have everything we need. We have P, we have B, we have L, and we have H. So let's go for it. The perimeter, the lateral area. Lateral area is going to be 1/2 perimeter times slant height. So it's going to be 1/2 of 40 times 13. Which if we calculate this, we'll get 260 inches squared. Then we have total surface area. That's going to be 1/2 perimeter times slant height plus the base. So 1/2 perimeter is 40, slant height's 13, area of our base is 100. We type all of this in the calculator. We'll get 360 inches squared. And last but not least, we have volume. Volume is 1/3 area of the base times height. So 1/3, the base is 100. Normal height is 12. H is 12. Again, type all this in the calculator, and you'll get 400 inches cubed since we're talking about volume. We found everything, so let's go on and fill in our blanks. So lateral area, we said it was 260 inches squared. Total surface area was 360 inches squared. And volume was 400 inches squared, cubed, not squared. 400 inches cubed. Okay, that was easy enough, right? Wasn't too bad. Let's look at the next one. So, since it only gives us one side down here on the base, we're going to assume that all sides are 4 inches. So if we think about the three things we need P, B, L, and H. Okay, perimeter of the base. Well, that's just going to be 4 times 4, which is 16 inches. Because it's a square, so we could do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or we could just say 4 times 4. Now, ironically enough, the area of the base is the same thing. 4 times 4, which is 16 inches squared. Now, slant height, that's what goes along the side. That's what they give us. See how the line ends over here on an edge? That means it goes along the side. If it was the actual height, it would have stopped in the middle here. It would have like stopped right here close to where I had that 4. Dropped straight down, but it didn't. It went over here to the side. So that means our slant height is 4 inches. Actual height, they don't give us that. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a right triangle that involves our actual height, the slant height, and half of our side. So 2, of course, our slant height right here is 6. And it doesn't look like it, but I promise you, this is a right triangle. You just got to remember, we're looking at it like we're looking at the tip and it's stretching back. It's going into our screens. So yes, it is a right triangle. The longest side is your slant height. So over here we can say 2 squared plus 8 squared equals 6 squared. So 4 plus 8 squared equals 36. Subtract the 4 from both sides, and we'll get 8 squared equals 32. Square root it, and let's see, does that come out to be a nice square root? No, we're going to be lazy. We're not going to put it as a decimal. We're just going to say square root of 32. It's not our final answer. We're not going to use it till even the end. So let's just not even try to worry about writing a bunch of decimals. Just say square root of 32 and move on for height. Square root of 32 inches. Let's to write that way too. Okay, now we're good to find our 3 items. So lateral area. 1/2 perimeter of the base times the slant height. So it's going to be 1/2 perimeter of the base is 16. Slant height is 4. No, my bad. My bad. What am I looking at? Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. Whoopsies. Slant height is 6, not 4. Slant height 6, not 4. Sorry if I confused anybody. It says it in the picture. 6 inches. Okay, back on track. So 1/2 times 16 times 6. That's going to get us 48 inches squared. That's our lateral area, 48 inches squared. Now we need total surface area. It's going to be 1/2 perimeter of the base times slant height plus area of the base. So 1/2 16 times 6 plus area of the base is 16. It's going to be 64 inches squared. And last but not least, volume. So volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we're going to do 1/3 area of the base is 16. Our height, that's our square root of 32 that we found earlier. So it tells us in the directions round to the nearest hundredth. Nearest hundredth, if necessary. So now it's necessary. We've got a square root, we've got a third as a fraction. It's necessary. So if we put this on the calculator, let's see what we get. So the calculator is going to give us something like 30.1698893. Like that's the full answer. Or that's not the full answer, but that's the answer it's going to give us. At least mine did. I want the nearest hundredth. So I want to keep that decimal place, but I need to look back here. That 9 tells that 6, boy, you better go up. So I'm going to be at 30.17 inches cubed. 30.17 inches cubed. Okay, so there's the notes. Stay tuned for the guided practice.